Did you get to enjoy a lunch today, Judge?
I don't know if she can hear us. Judge, can you hear us?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think they're still working on the audio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they must be.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody back.
Yes. Did you get to enjoy lunch today?
I can't hear that.
Keep here still.
Oh, it's over there now? No?
Okay, looks like your computer needs to be muted and the CC9 should be on.
Looks like I'm muted. Sounds
No,
like I'm muted.
you should be on your laptop,
So I should mute myself, okay?
on the left.
Well,
See that work.
Fernando came by and he did something. So, Deputy Espinosa is checking it out, see if there needs to be fine-tuned.
Judge, turn on the audio or mute your computer.
Okay?
And okay, now they definitely should hear you without the echo.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
I think that's much better.
It's
Yeah.
much better? Okay. But
Can you? It's
not very good. I really do like it better over here because that's not real good. I guess that's important when we're having a jury trial, but
That's just. It's not going like that.
something's not connected. What is that? Zoom meeting? All right. Oh, that's better. Yeah, okay. Can you all hear okay?
I can.
Okay,
Yes, Judge, we can hear you.
that's a little loud.
Yeah, let me turn it
Maybe a
down.
couple.
All right.
Okay, everybody okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Oh, I can hear you better. All right, so we are back and everybody's back in the courtroom with us. And I have printed out some of the plea paperwork that I found. I've got Ali Samarai, James Jackson, and David Rodriguez. Who else am I supposed to have?
Your Honor, there's two more for mine.
Eduardo Ayala is, no, that's, that wasn't ready today. Who else do you have?
I had two gambling cases. It was Enedelia Ponce and Pablo Salazar.
Okay,
If they're not in, oh, okay.
what happened with those? I remember discussing those. Let me see.
I think I'm getting a message that the DA was missing one of the emails, so let me get that to them.
Mr. Martinez, it seems like you never signed the plea paperwork. It shows on my screen that for Mr. Salazar as well as Ms. Ponce, neither one have been completed by you.
Okay, all right. I signed it and I sent it to them. I don't know what went wrong, but I could try again.
I redid the paperwork on that. So, Mr. Silverio, you did sign
Okay,
the ones that I sent. I just need Pablo Salazar's email address to reroute it. And that's the only thing that we're missing is his, everything else has already been signed.
okay, sending that over. Stand by.
All right, so Miss Settle, let me go ahead and take care of you because you have to get on to something else, right?
Yes, Judge, I
remind
have a
me-
mediation at 2. Thank you.
Okay, remind me what it was, please.
It's Francis Harrell, number 627522. And my client wanted to address the court to request that you appoint her new counsel.
Okay. All right, Miss Carol?
It's Harrell.
Harold, Harrold. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If you will, go ahead. I'm listening. I don't see Miss Harold.
She's on there, Judge. Ma'am, you need to unmute.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
unmuted now, I
there we go.
think.
Oh, yeah,
Yes, you
I
are.
can hear you now and I can see you. Great. All right. Why would you like for me to appoint you new counsel, Ms. Harrell?
Well, I just feel like the council has said some things that I don't agree with.
Okay. So do you think that maybe there's a problem communicating you and Ms. Settle or vice versa?
It's just in some of the things that have been said. So I guess you can call that communication, Your Honor.
Right. Well, see, the thing is that you all have a attorney-client privilege, and I really don't want to invade that. So
Judge,
if-
may I address the court?
yes, you may.
Judge, I would ask that you do grant her request. I've represented her for several months, and we're truly at an impasse with
Okay.
in our communication, in moving this case forward. I just think that you know, she needs somebody that she has confidence in, that she can work with, and I just think we are at an impasse, and
Okay.
I would just ask that you grant her request.
So it sounds to me like you both agree that maybe we should just assign someone else. So I am going to grant that request. And you are appointed, Ms. Settle?
I
Is
am,
that right?
Judge.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Ms. Harrell, we will, Ms. Castillo will appoint you someone else before the end of today. And then that attorney should be getting in touch with you, okay? Ms. Castillo will probably send you a copy of who's your new appointed counsel. And would try that and see if that works out better.
Okay, I appreciate that, Your Honor. I was just wanting to know, is there a date or will I be notified about a next date?
Right. So I did not give you a new date. So I'm going to say that we're going to reset your matter for April 5.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
But-
all right,
and
thank
so-
you.
And
Thank you,
Your Honor, I may need some contact information from her.
All right. So we'll put you in a breakout room, Ms. Harrell. Okay.
I did leave a message with the court this morning with my contact information, so I don't know if you still need that.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I could email it to
unfortunately-
Alita if that
Oh.
would be easier, Judge.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else besides that you would need, Alita?
No, that's all, Your Honor.
That'll work well. Okay, let's do it that way.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. You all have a
Thank you,
wonderful
Judge.
afternoon, and
You
you're
too.
welcome to log off at this time. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see. I know that I did have a plea paperwork on Mr. Montalvo. I left it over there on my desk in my chamber, so that I know we're ready to go on. I also
Judge-
have, yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Judge. I was gonna say, I don't know, we did it right before lunch, so I don't know if the court has seen it. You should have the paperwork ready for the plea on the prisoner who I do not see, James Jackson. They were bringing him back at 1:30.
Alida, do you know anything about that?
Let me call them up. They were set in the morning and let me just let him know that he needs to be brought back.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
all right.
And Alita.
And so that may take another 15 minutes, Ms. Kramer. Is there something you can get done in the meantime or?
Absolutely. I can go to another Zoom and pop back in at around 2.
Okay, let's do that. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, so let me see. So I don't see it. Whose client is Mr. Samarai? Not, I think that looks like Miss Blake. Is that right? How about James Jackson? Who is that? Oh, did I get all the wrong ones? All right.
James Jackson is the prisoner, the one that we have in custody right now.
I'm sorry, is with who?
That's the one that's in custody right now, Judge, that they're trying to bring over.
I can't read the attorney's signature. Can you tell me that is?
I believe that's Suzanne Kramer's defendant.
Oh, okay, that's the one that she's going to come back on. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then I have David Rodriguez, and that is Silverio Martinez. My battery is running low, really?
On the mic, Judge?
I don't know what that is. You might want to plug in your PC. My PC, it's not plugged in? Okay. I wonder, is there another cord here that I didn't plug in? Let me see about this. Maybe this, right? See if that's. Maybe that'll fix it.
Yes.
Thanks. Okay. All right. All right, so will you do me a favor? I left the plea paperwork on Mr. Montalvo, Miles Montalvo, on my desk.
Your desk?
Uh-huh. It should be just on top. All right, so can we proceed on David Rodriguez? Mr. Martinez, are you here? Silverio Martinez?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay. We're ready to proceed on this plea?
That one is ready.
Okay, all right, let's do that. Let me give my bailiff a chance to come back. All right. And so, Mr. Joseph Acevedo, did you need to make an announcement from this morning?
No, Your Honor, we were set this afternoon for the plea on Montalvo.
On Montalvo, that's yours, okay. Okay. All right. And on Connor Cummings, that is Mr. Martinez is also?
No, Judge, this is Matthew Finch. That's my client. He's
Oh.
present. We're ready. I got a notification that the paperwork is done, so the court should have it.
Okay, well, I will look for it. Let me see if I can do it out right now before we get started. It might actually save a little time. Oh, I forgot to look up the cause number. Aleda, can you give me the cause number in Mr. Cummings' case?
Judge, it was recalled
Yes,
from
Your
Monday. The
Honor,
case.
it's 671-585, Your Honor.
671-585. All right, thanks. Thank you very much. Okay, 671-585. Let's see here. Maybe it was completed because it's not under the, let me see, maybe I'm in the wrong place. There we go. Let me print that out and we'll be good to go. Okay. Oh, wait a minute, I'm looking at something else. I guess I better just do the whole thing. Oh, okay. print. All right. And y'all can still hear me, right? Because I look like I'm muted, but that's okay.
We
Okay.
can hear you, Judge.
All right, so I'm going to call Mr. Miles Javier Montalvo.
Yes,
You
Your
will
Honor.
please raise your right hand, sir, and do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may lower your hand. This is cause number 615446, the state of Texas versus Miles Javier Montalvo. Counselors, please make your announcement.
Jeff King on behalf of the state.
Joseph Acevedo for Mr. Miles, Your Honor.
All right, so are you Miles Xavier Montalvo?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a US citizen, sir?
I am. Yes.
You've been charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated as a first. And I did not print out, is this a DWI first, or are we amending the information?
We are
Amending, Your
not.
Honor.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear everything.
We are waiving the enhancement, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, and this was part of your agreement, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And I believe I have already signed the order, so that is approved. Okay. Okay, so at this time, I'm going to direct your attention to a document entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights, Mr. Montalvo. You see that it says you're charged with the offense of DWI first. And then if you go a little further down, you'll see that the potential range of punishment for this offense is from 72 hours up to 180 days in Bear County Jail and or fine up to $2,000. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're going to go to page 2 where it says defendant's signature. We need to scroll up a little bit more so I can see that signature. There we go. Did you sign that, Mr. Montalvo?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Do you understand that by signing that document, you're waiving your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, as well as those 14 rights listed in that document?
Correct, yes.
If you have an agreement with the state and I follow it, but then later tonight or tomorrow you change your mind and you want to take back your plea, you would actually need my permission to do that. But I don't have to give that permission. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right, if I assess a harsher punishment than what you have agreed to, you can take back your plea and nothing that you've said or signed for today's hearing can be used against you. And if you plead no contest to this offense, I can still find you guilty of this offense. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Acevedo, have you had an opportunity to discuss the charge with Mr. Montalvo?
Yes, Your Honor.
In your opinion, does he have a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charge?
I believe he does, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in his defense?
He has, Your Honor.
I approve the waiver. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
With approval, there is, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor, there is an agreement, and we have agreed to 180 days in the Bear County Jail, probated for 12 months, $700 fine, court cost, 60 hours of community service, DWI intervention, victim impact panel, a TAP evaluation, and an ignition interlock for 1/2 the term.
Mr. Acevedo, is that your understanding of the agreement? I'm sorry, I didn't hear an answer. Joseph Acevedo? Oh,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay.
That is the agreement.
Okay, so Mr. Montalvo, to the offense of driving while intoxicated as a first offense as a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir?
No contest?
Is anybody forcing you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I will accept your plea. I am assessing 180 days in Bear County Jail. However, that is probated for 12 months. A $700 fine plus court costs, 60 hours community service. You are to complete the DWI intervention course, the victim impact panel, the TAP evaluation, and on your vehicle, install ignition interlock for 1/2 your term of probation. Also, I'm going to offer you 24 hours credit on your community service requirement if you have been or become fully vaccinated for COVID with proof to the probation department. That is strictly optional, and it would help you
I am fully
attain.
vaccinated.
Okay, all you have to do is show the proof to the probation department, okay?
Fantastic. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything further from defense? You're muted, Mr. Acevedo.
Famous words. I'm going to get a T-shirt that says that. Judge, if in his TAP evaluation there's a recommendation of inpatient, will the court allow us to approach?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Okay, so when you say you want to approach about the TAP evaluation,
If the TAP evaluation has a recommendation of inpatient, if we could at least have an opportunity to show the court a different avenue we would like for the court to consider.
all right, well, do you want to do that now as part of this process? Or are you asking that we interrupt this, please, so that you can address the court about that matter?
Whichever way the court prefers. If we finish the proceeding today and when they do the TAP evaluation down the road, and if they have a recommendation for inpatient, if we may be able to approach the court on the TAP report to consider an alternative.
Okay, so there is probably a special way to word that as part of this agreement, right?
Merely that I requested it and you have indicated you will allow us to approach should it
All right.
recommend inpatient.
All right, so you will be allowed to approach regarding the recommendations after the TAP evaluation is conducted.
Thank
Is
you.
that satisfactory? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Or even a motion to reconsider based on the TAP evaluation. And if we can get a copy of the motion, the state might join you. It's a lot easier for us to work together versus
Absolutely
falling apart. So emotions are always great.
All right. So we're going to say that after the TAP evaluation, a motion will be heard by the court as to the recommendations, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
And it sounds like it's agreed. Is that correct, Mr. King?
Yes, that's fine. He can
Okay.
file a motion for reconsideration or whatever motion he deems appropriate.
Thank you.
Okay.
For the TAP.
All right. All right. So, Mr. Montalvo, I have followed your agreement, sir. That means you do not have a right to appeal. At this point, is there anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor, nothing further.
Okay. All right. So you have filled out a personal data sheet, Mr. Montalvo. Do you swear that everything on that personal data sheet is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. At this time, we are going to adjourn this hearing. And at this time, I believe I'm going to ask you to meet with Mr. Richardson. He's going to give you important information on how to proceed and what to expect. Communication is a very important issue as a result of this pandemic. So I would just like to suggest in the future, when you are trying to communicate with your supervising officer, if you call and the number is busy or you can't get through, follow up with a text or an email, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Most
All right,
definitely.
I want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And this hearing is now adjourned. Thank you. You'll be getting a prompt on your screen asking you to join a breakout room. If you will go there and wait for Mr. Richardson, he will join you in a matter of time, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Acevedo. Is there anything
Thank you.
further?
No, Your Honor, may we be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, Mr. Martinez, Silverio Martinez, we're ready to proceed on Mr. Rodriguez. So Mr. Rodriguez, could you please unmute yourself, sir, and turn on your video?
Yes, I'm present. Allow me one moment.
Okay. I'm not seeing your video. Oh, there
I
you
just
are.
turned it
Okay.
on. Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may lower your hand. This is cause number 652952, the state of Texas versus David Rodriguez. Counselors, please make your announcements.
Tina Sanchez for the state.
Silverio Martinez for the defendant, Your Honor.
All right. So I see that we are, the offense is alleged as an obstruction of a highway. Was there an amendment to this information?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, the state would move to alter and amend the information by adding an additional count number 2, obstruction of a highway, waiving and abandoning count 1 and proceeding solely on count 2.
All right. And this was agreed as part of the plea agreement, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I will approve it. At this time, Mr. Rodriguez, I need to ask you, are you David Rodriguez?
Yes, I am.
Are you a U.S. citizen, sir?
Yes.
You've been charged with the offense of obstruction of a highway as a Class B misdemeanor. And I don't know if we can share that document on the screen. It's called the Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights. Alita, do you happen to have a copy?
No, Your Honor, I don't. And
All right.
it's not
So
able
Ms.
to-
Sanchez, can you please share on your screen?
Yes, Judge, I can. I just do not have host privileges.
Okay. All right, well, I don't know.
But
how
I
to
have read
You
inside
need
it.
to make her a co-host.
Say that again?
Oh, I have read inside it.
Share it, Judge. If you just make me a co-host, I can pull it up.
I didn't understand anything y'all said. The audio is in the courtroom now and not on my laptop. So tell me that again.
If Ms. Sanchez can be a co-host, she can share.
Okay, we did not make her a co-host. Okay, let me do that right now.
All right, pulled it up on the screen.
Okay, so if we could go to the waiver, defendant's waiver of constitutional rights. Okay, so Mr. Rodriguez, you see that the charge that you are being alleged to have not followed or violated is obstruction of a highway. And the potential or the range of punishment for that is up to 180 days in Bear County Jail and or a fine up to $2,000. You see that, sir?
I do.
All right. We are going to, and this is a document that you reviewed with your attorney, is that right?
Correct.
So we're going to go to page 2 where it says defendant's signature. Did you sign that?
I did.
Do you understand that by signing that document, you're waiving your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, as well as those 14 other rights listed in that document?
Yes, I understand.
If you have an agreement with the state and I follow it, but later on tonight or tomorrow you change your mind, you want to take back your plea, you would need my permission to do that, but I do not have to give that permission. You understand that?
Understood.
If I assess a harsher punishment than what you have agreed to, you can take back your plea, and nothing you've said or signed for today's hearing can be used against you. And if you, and so Mr. Martinez, have you had an opportunity to discuss the charge with Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
In your opinion, does he have a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charge?
Yes, he does, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in his defense?
He has.
I approve the waiver. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is a $600 fine with court costs, 14 months deferred adjudication, EWI education course, the victim impact panel, an ATP evaluation, ignition interlock for half the term, 48 hours of community service, and $60 reimbursement to the Department of Public Safety.
Mr. Martinez, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Rodriguez, to the offense of obstruction of a highway as a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir?
I'm guilty.
Is anybody forcing you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, I am.
I accept your plea. I am not making any findings of guilt. I'll place you on deferred adjudication for a period of 14 months. Assess the $600 fine plus court costs. You are to complete the DWI education course, the victim impact panel, the ATP evaluation, and on your vehicle, install ignition interlock for 1/2 your term of your probation. Also complete 48 hours community service and $60 payment in restitution to the Department of Public Safety. Also, I will give you 24 hours credit against your community service requirement if you have been or become fully vaccinated for COVID with proof to the probation department. All right, is there anything further from defense?
Your Honor, we were asking for deferred adjudication, and the agreement from the state was that there was no opposition to that.
You're asking for,
Deferred adjudication?
I thought I said that. I placed him on deferred adjudication for 14 months. Did I
Oh,
misspeak?
okay. No, I apologize, Your Honor. I must. have
Maybe I
not
didn't
heard.
say it. Maybe I
I
just
didn't
saw
hear
it.
that part. I
Yeah,
apologize.
that is part of the agreement. And yes, he will be on deferred adjudication for 14 months. So, all right. So, Mr. Rodriguez, deferred adjudication can be a good result for you because if you keep all your promises, you will not have a conviction. That's really important, right? But if you fail to comply with all the terms and conditions of your probation and the state files a motion, I find sufficient reason to follow it, then I can give you that conviction, revoke your community supervision, assess up to 180 days in Bear County Jail, and you would have a very limited right of appeal. So it's really important that you commit to proceed to successfully complete this, right?
Understood.
Okay, all right. And also, I have followed your agreement. That means you do not have a right to appeal. Is there anything further from anybody before we adjourn this hearing?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I want to wish you the best of luck, Mr. Rodriguez. I need to ask you, you filled out a personal data sheet. Do you swear that everything you put on that personal data sheet is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
That's correct.
All right, great. All right. Also, just be mindful that we're still not back to good communication. So when you need to report, be sure that you have some evidence that you have been trying to get in touch with your supervising officer, okay? Also,
Will do.
you need to know that they are there to help you. So don't feel shy about asking questions. All right, at this
Understood.
time, I'm going to ask you to go to a breakout room. You'll see something on your screen inviting you there. Click on that and you will be meeting with Mr. Corey Richardson, our CLO. He's going to give you important information on what to expect and how to proceed. Okay?
Thank you.
Best of luck to you, sir. Thank you. This
Thank
hearing's
you.
adjourned. All right. Okay, Mr. Finch, you're going to proceed on Mr. Connor Cummings.
We're ready, Your Honor.
The only problem, I like to print out the waiver. I am not finding that in here. No, I will just use the.
I think is it now a waiver of objection to amendment of the information and rights stipulation of facts and judicial conference? I think that's what I have. Would that be it, Ms. Sanchez?
No, I'm looking for the waiver that where, you know, of his constitutional rights. You know, it says defendant's waiver of constitutional rights. That's the one I'm looking for. And I just.
I have the paperwork, Judge, that Aleda was just talking about. I don't necessarily see the other documents. If we need to do those real quickly, I guess we could.
Yeah, well, that's, you know.
I don't know what the court has or doesn't have. I don't.
Yeah, the waiver, defendant's waiver of constitutional rights is what tells me that this is a voluntary and knowing plea. And that's what I like to follow. I do have a copy of the plea bargain, but I don't have the waiver that he would sign and you would sign.
Your Honor, that waiver is currently with the defendant. The defendant still needs to sign.
Karina, could you send a reminder, Judge, if you could put me in a breakout room maybe with my client so we can deal with that before we do the plea?
Reminder's been sent, sir.
Thank you.
All right. See if I have another one to do in the meantime. Let me see. I've got one for. Okay, Mr. Rodriguez needs help in the breakout room, Aleda.
I'll be right there. I think he's waiting on Mr. Corey.
Okay. And so Mr. Jackson is Suzanne Kramer's case, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be right in there later.
All right, so I'm sure that I have some other pleas to do today. Let me see who I'm missing. Mr. Hernandez, do you have a plea for today?
We do, Your Honor. Mr. Landers, paperwork was sent in August. I'll just make sure everybody has that still.
Okay. That was 628760. Let me go to the Adobe Sign and see if I can pull that up.
That 760 will be taken in consideration, Judge.
Okay.
It's
So
gonna be
I have the cause number is 628760. That's not the one he's going to plead on?
No, Judge, I think that's the one it's going to be TIC. We're pleading to 634337.
634337. Okay. Maybe this got done another time. I'm going to see if it's in the completed stack.
Judge, I think defense stated earlier that the plea paperwork was done quite a bit ago.
Okay, because I'm not pulling it up under, let me see, let me try it again.
I think this plea paperwork might have been done before I was in the court.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Naveen Molina. My case number is
Okay, 634-337, 634-337. No, I can't find it. Do you think you can find it, Ms. Sanchez?
I won't be able to, Judge. It was done by probably a prior prosecutor in the court. But
Yeah.
if Mr. Hernandez wants to chat me his defendant's email address, I can probably knock that paperwork out in like 3 minutes.
Okay. Could you do that, Mr. Hernandez?
I apologize, I didn't hear. What would you like, Judge?
So I cannot find the plea paperwork that you were referring to.
I
So,
found it, Your Honor. Let me
what?
send it. I found it. Let me send it to you for signature. I think this is on Damian Landers. Is that who it
Yes,
is? Okay.
that's who it is.
I'll forward it on to you by Adobe.
Okay, all right.
And while I'm doing that, maybe Ms. Kramer's coming in.
Yeah, I did. I thought I just admitted her, but I'm
Yes,
not
I'm here.
sure. Okay. I'll be with you in just a second.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So we can proceed with Mr. Jackson. This right here. Right. Thank you. All right, so James Jackson, we can do that one now. All right. James Jackson is right there. Okay, sir, will you please unmute yourself? All right. Will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may lower your hand. And you need to speak up because there is a record being made of these proceedings, okay? All right, so this is cause number 669679, the state of Texas versus James Jackson. Counselors, please make your announcements.
Karina Sanchez for the state.
Suzanne Kramer for Mr. Jackson.
So are you James Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a US citizen, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And I can prove everything and then know that what I'm saying is true.
All right. Unfortunately, I think we can hear the background noise coming through, but so you're going to have to speak up real loud, Mr. Jackson, please.
Well, or yeah, James, just stay muted until you, whenever the judge needs to speak with you, just keep it muted. And he's been really good about knowing how to work the computer, Judge, all day, so he's good.
Okay. All right. So, as I said, this is cause number 669679, the state of Texas versus James Jackson. I did ask you if you're a US citizen, did I not?
Yes,
Your Honor.
You've been charged with the offense of theft under $100 enhanced as a Class B misdemeanor. And you will see on the screen the document I'm referring to that shows also the range of punishment for this offense. So it is up to 180 days in Bexar County Jail and or a fine up to $2,000. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What do I do with my papers? You reviewed this document with your attorney, right? All right, so we're going to go to page 2 where it says defendant signature. Did you sign that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you sign that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that by signing that document, you're waiving your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, as well as all those other 14 rights listed on that document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. If you have an agreement with a state and I follow it, but then later on you change your mind, you want to take back your plea, you would need my permission to do that. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
But I don't have to give that permission. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If I assess a harsher punishment than what you have agreed to, then you can take back your plea and nothing you've said or signed for today's hearing can be used against you. And you are going to plead no contest. You understand that I can still find you guilty even though you're pleading no contest. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Kramer, have you had an opportunity to discuss the charge with Mr. Jackson?
Yes, Judge.
In your opinion, does he have a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charge?
He does, Judge.
Has he been able to assist you in his defense?
He has.
I will approve the waiver. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge.
Yes, Judge, the agreement is a $0 fine with court costs,
I'm sorry, I could not hear that.
a $0 fine with court costs,
Okay,
15 days in the Bexar County Jail, and that's 15-1-5.
thank you.
Credit for time served, the time and money to run concurrently, and if it pleases the court, the judgment would be satisfied, Your Honor.
All right,
That
Ms.
is good.
Kramer,
That
is
is the
that your
agreement, Judge.
understanding?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So, Mr. Jackson, to the offense of theft under $100 enhanced as a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Is anybody forcing you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I will accept your plea. I am going to assess a $0 fine plus court costs. I sentence you to 15 days Bexar County Jail. You get credit for the time you've already served. The time and money will run concurrently. How many days does Mr. Jackson have?
You know, Judge, I do not know. He was in jail for quite a while on a pending felony, so a lot. I would have to ask the clerk, yeah.
All right, so the court does find that your judgment is satisfied, Mr. Jackson. So is there anything further from defense?
Just one thing to let Mr. Jackson know, our plea bargain in the 437th was for quite a number of cases to be dismissed. They all were, except of one as of this morning, it hadn't been, but I contacted the DA and I wanted Mr. Jackson to know he has now submitted the dismissal on that final case. So now there's nothing holding him.
Okay.
Okay.
I thank and appreciate you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Judge. Now be
All right.
excused.
I have followed your agreement, sir. That
Oh.
means you have no right to appeal. Thank you very much. This hearing is adjourned. Good luck to you,
Thank you,
sir.
Judge. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ms. Kramer. Take care.
You too.
I appreciate it, Judge.
Okay. So I still have some people here, and Mr. Hernandez, what is the status on yours? Did you get a chance to get the paperwork signed?
Your Honor, it's on its way to you, but it's just downloading the paperwork. It
Oh,
should be
okay.
going in a few seconds.
All right. So, Mr. Hitchings, you are here to do a plea also?
Not yet. I
Okay.
got hung up in the 186 and the 227 this morning.
Okay.
And so by the time I got to County Court 9, you would close for lunch. And so I was told be back at 1:30. I've got David Torres. He is present. And Chris Lowry, who used to be an assistant DA in County Court 9, had offered pretrial diversion if he completed a drug education program and provided proof of vaccination, which he did, but pretrial diversion rejected it. So we're kind of back to square one, where I need to talk to a prosecutor and see where we're at.
Okay. We'll put you in a breakout room so you can talk to one of our ADAs, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Brooks, would you tell me which case you are here on, please?
Yes, Judge, I'm standing in to do a plea on Mr. Luis Martinez's case. It's number 2 on the add-on list, 623-645.
That was 623645?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the defendant's name?
It's Fernando, and I can't see the last name.
Okay. Let me see if I can find it.
Fernando Flores.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We were just getting information, Mr. Flores. We'll be with you in
Okay.
just a second,
Thank you.
okay?
Plea paperwork is still with the defendant. I've just sent a reminder.
Six two eight seven six zero 634-337. Okay. So you sent Mr. Landers to me through Adobe Sign, Aleda?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Let me check on that. Six three four three three seven. Okay. So Aleda, what is the cause number on Fernando Flores?
It's on the, let me see, it is 623645.
Thank you.
And Judge, if I may, I got a message from Ms. Sanchez about the paperwork.
Yes.
And if she could actually send it to me, I think Mr. Martinez is in the Uvalde County Jail right now, so he can't sign it. I'll go ahead and do it.
Oh, okay. All right. So we can't do it right now then.
Well, I'll go ahead and do it. I'll sign it for him, but I previously said if she could send it to Mr. Martinez, but I'll just run through it with him.
Okay. So, yeah, so, all right. So let me see if I can find it. 62, what was it? 625?
623645, Judge.
Okay, 62645. Well, I'm not finding it under that number, 623645. Let me see if it's
It may
already
not have been
completed,
completed
maybe.
yet.
So did you send it to me Adobe or Outlook, Aleda? I found Landers, okay.
Yeah, Landers,
You already got that, right? So,
Landers is the one I sent you by Adobe only.
okay. And let me.
I don't have the other one.
Get that one prepared.
Judge,
Oh,
the
it's
paperwork
completed.
for Flores hasn't been signed by the defendant, so it's still in his inbox. That's why you don't have it yet.
Oh, okay, all right. All right.
Do I need to sign something?
On which case?
This is Mr. Landers. I was asking, do I need to sign any paperwork or anything like that?
No, 1 second. Okay, can you grab that for me, please? Thank you. Thank you so much. Should probably be good exercise when we get up and go get it. Okay. So I have Landers and I have Ponce that we have not done. I also have Sampson. And the one I'm wondering about is Mr. Finch's client.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Cummings and I just signed the paperwork. It should be headed towards the court, the additional admonishments paperwork.
Okay, great. All right. So the only thing I'm waiting for is Flores and one more. Mr. Hernandez, we can do Mr. Landers right now while we're waiting for the others, right?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Devarius, Damian Landers. Boy, did I murder that name.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your name again, sir, please.
Devarius.
Devarius, okay, I did it okay. All right, good. Will you please unmute yourself and turn on your video? Well, you've unmuted yourself. Turn on your video. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes,
So I'm
ma'am.
going to ask you to please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. This is cause number 634337, the state of Texas versus Devarius Damian Landers. Counselors, please make your announcement.
Jeff King on behalf of the state.
Oscar Hernandez on behalf of Mr. Landers.
All right, so are you Devarius Damian Landers?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You've been charged, and we're going to see on the screen a document that you reviewed with your attorney entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights. You've been charged with the offense of criminal trespass on private property as a Class B misdemeanor. As you see, the range of punishment for that is up to 180 days in Bexar County Jail and/or a fine up to $2,000. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to go to the next page where it says defendant's signature. Can you scroll down a little bit more? Oh, there we go. Did you sign that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that by signing that document, you are waiving your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, as well as those other rights listed on that document?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have an agreement with the state and I follow it, but then tomorrow or later tonight, you change your mind, you want to take back your plea, you would need my permission to be able to do that, but I do not have to give that permission. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
If I assess a harsher punishment than what you have agreed to, then you can take back your plea and nothing you've said or signed for today's hearing can be used against you.
Yes, ma'am.
So also, you need to know that even though you're entering a plea of no contest, I can still find you guilty of that charge. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Hernandez, have you had an opportunity to discuss the charge with Mr. Landers?
I have, Your Honor.
In your opinion, does he have a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charge?
Yes, he does, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in his defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
I approve the waiver. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. We have agreed to 6 months of deferred adjudication, a $300 fine, court cost, 36 hours of community service, no contact with Urban Flats, and take into consideration cause number 628760.
Mr. Hernandez, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Landers, to the offense of criminal trespass of a private property as the Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Is anybody forcing you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
I will accept your plea. I am going to assess a $300 fine plus court costs. I will place you on deferred adjudication for a period of 6 months. You are to complete 36 hours community service, no contact with Urban Flats, and as part of this agreement, taken into consideration is cause number 628760. Is there anything further from defense?
No, Your Honor. Thank you, Judge.
Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Landers, I have followed your agreement, sir, but I do want to make sure you understand deferred adjudication is a very good result for you. If you keep all your promises, you will not have a conviction. That's pretty important. But if you do not comply with all the terms and conditions of your probation and the state files a motion and I find sufficient reason to follow it, then I can revoke your community supervision, give you that conviction, assess up to 180 days in Bear County Jail, and you would have a very limited right of appeal. So it's the alternate is really not good, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're young, obviously. You have a whole life ahead of you, we hope, and we want it to be a positive life. So I hope you will take this very seriously and successfully complete this. It is not for a very long time, so that's the good side, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
besides that, I also want to offer you 12 hours community service hours credit if you are or become fully vaccinated for COVID, okay?
Yes,
That
ma'am.
is strictly optional, but I consider it public service, so you would get credit for that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything before we conclude this hearing?
No, ma'am.
All right, so you filled out a personal data sheet. Do you swear that everything on that personal data sheet is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Want to wish you the best of luck, sir. I'm going to ask you to meet with Mr. Corey Richardson. You'll get a prompt on your screen to join breakout room, whatever number that is. If you will go there and wait for Mr. Richardson, he has important information to give you about what to expect and how to proceed, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Best of luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And we are looking still for Flores, right?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. We do have Mr. Cummings. I just saw that, didn't I? Yeah, apparently I'm wrong. I'm waiting for the rest of the paperwork on Mr. Cummings' case, right? I wanted the defendant's waiver of constitutional rights, and that's what's holding that up. Okay. Moving on. So I need Flores and Cummings, and there will be current, I think, right? So,
Your Honor, I did, mine was filed already and she's ready to go, I believe. Enedelia Ponce.
okay, let's do that one. Thank you. All right. Ms. Ponce, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Will you please raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You may lower your hand. This is cause number 658-945, State of Texas versus Enedelia Ponce. Counselors, please make your announcements.
Karina Sanchez for the state.
Silverio Martinez for the defendant, Your Honor.
All right, so are you Enedelia Ponce?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen, ma'am?
Yes.
You've been charged with the offense, and we can share that document, I hope. Defendant's waiver of constitutional rights.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you reviewed this document with your attorney, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you see that you're being charged with the offense of possession of gambling paraphernalia device as a Class A misdemeanor. And the range of punishment for that is up to 1 year in Bear County Jail and or a fine up to $4,000. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, we're going to go to page 2 where it shows defendant's signature. Did you sign that, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by signing that document, you're waiving your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, as well as those other 14 rights listed in that document?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have an agreement with the state and I follow it, but then later on tonight, you change your mind, you want to take back your plea, you would need my permission to be able to take back that plea, but I do not have to give that permission. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so if you enter a plea of no contest to this charge, I can still find you guilty of this charge. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Martinez, have you had an opportunity to discuss the charge with Ms. Ponce?
I have, Your Honor.
In your opinion, does she have a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charge?
Yes, she does.
Has she been able to assist you in her defense?
Yes, she has.
I approve the waiver. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
The agreement is a $1,000 fine. The state has agreed to probate $500 of that fine with court costs. 12 months deferred adjudication. MRT, which is moral recognition therapy.
I'm sorry, say that again.
MRT. Yes, Judge, that's MRT.
RT?
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor. 50 hours of community service. Gambling Anonymous. And part of the agreement is an agreed forfeiture, which has already been signed by both parties and has been filed with the court. And in exchange for this plea, the state will TIC cause numbers 658-938 and 658-936.
Okay, again, ART, is that what you said earlier?
MRT, Judge.
MRT, okay, I finally heard it. Okay, and so Mr. Martinez, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Ponce, to the offense of possessing gambling paraphernalia or device as a Class A misdemeanor, how do you plead, ma'am?
No contest.
Is anybody forcing you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
I accept your plea. I'm not making any findings of guilt. I'm placing you on deferred adjudication for a period of 12 months, assessing a $1,000 fine plus court costs. However, $500 of that fine is probated. You are to complete the MRT and 50 hours community service. Take the Gambling Anonymous course, and as agreed by all the parties, an agreed forfeiture of the devices. And in exchange for this plea, taken into consideration is 658-938 and 658-936. Is there anything further from defense?
No, Your Honor.
The 938 and the 936, they belong to Pablo Isaac Salazar?
Oh, yes. And Judge, with regard to Pablo, he was not able to sign because he doesn't have access to email today. So I was going to ask the court if Your Honor would be amenable to rescheduling his plea so that he can get in front of a computer because he was out of connection.
Okay. All right. So, but is it correct that we did take into consideration 658-938 on this case?
Judge, to keep the record clear, the cases that we're going to TIC is 658-946.
946?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, that was a typo on our end.
Okay.
658-947.
658-947?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And
So I'm going to line through the other two. Those do not belong to this case.
That's correct, Judge. And those dismissals are on the way to your inbox.
All right. Okay, great. All right. Okay. So at this time, Ms. Ponce, I have accepted your plea. Did I? Maybe I didn't. So Ms. Ponce, to the offense of possessing gambling paraphernalia device as a Class A misdemeanor. I think you did enter a plea. Could you tell me what it was?
No contest.
Okay. And I did ask you if you're doing this of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing further, so I do want to make sure that you understand that deferred adjudication is a good thing. If you can successfully complete it, you won't have a conviction. That's pretty important, right? But you need to understand that the court expects you to comply 100% with all the terms and conditions of your probation. Because if the state were to file a motion and the court finds sufficient reason to follow it, then the court can give you that conviction, revoke your community supervision, assess up to 1 year in Bexar County Jail, and you would have a very limited right of appeal. So all those little details are really very important. So I hope that you successfully complete this so you can have a decent life to look forward to, okay?
Yes.
All right, so you filled out, so anything else from defense before I proceed?
No, Your Honor, nothing else.
Okay. So I have followed your agreement, ma'am. That means you do not have a right to appeal. But I want to be sure that you filled out a personal data sheet. Do you swear that everything you put on that data sheet is true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay. All right. I want to wish you the best of luck. I'm going to ask you to go to a breakout room to meet with Mr. Richardson. Mr. Martinez, would you mind going with Ms. Ponce? Do you have any other pleas to do today?
No, I have other courts in Laredo, but I can take a few minutes to do that.
Okay. So you're going to get a prompt that says join breakout room, whatever number that is, Ms. Ponce. If you click on that, you will be meeting with Mr. Corey Richardson. Okay. He's going to give you important information on how to proceed and what to expect. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Best of luck to you, ma'am. This hearing is adjourned. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. With regard to Pablo Salazar, what date would be good for a reset, Your Honor?
Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow we'll be having a plea docket or next week.
I have to be in Wichita Falls tomorrow and
Okay.
Friday, so I would ask for something like next week if possible.
Okay, so, you tell me, we're going to have plea dockets just about Monday through Friday at 1:30.
Okay,
So,
yeah, middle of the week would be good. A Tuesday or Wednesday would be perfect, Judge.
all right. So how about today's Wednesday? How about a week from today on Wednesday?
That'll work.
Okay, that's on Mr. Salazar, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So plea Wednesday, I don't know what day that is, March something, at 1:30, okay?
March 9.
Thank you. Okay, you got that, Mr. Martinez?
I got it, Judge, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You'll have a great afternoon. Take
You
care.
too, Your Honor.
Okay, so we are still waiting for Mr. Flores, right? Let me see if I have anything I can do at this time.
Your Honor, this is Barry Hitchings. I just wanted to make sure Assistant DA Jeff King said he would file a dismissal on David Torres, 669349.
Okay,
I just wanted to make sure you received that before I logged off.
all right. Well, I'm going to look at my Adobe sign right now. And let me see, I'll check for you and I'll let you know. Be right back.
Judge.
Okay, Mr. Hitchings, I believe that I just signed Mr. Torres's dismissal.
Okay, thank you,
So,
Your Honor.
should be able to get a copy of that pretty soon.
Okay, so I can be excused.
All right, so let me see where we are. I know I just, do you mind? I just did Mr. Flores's paperwork. Oh, it didn't print?
No, I didn't hear it.
Oh. It's not really your job, but I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, so I have everything on Mr. Flores's case except the defendant's waiver of constitutional rights. I'm still waiting on Mr. Cummings' waiver of constitutional rights. So Mr. Brooks is here on Mr. Flores, right?
I am, Judge, but I guess I'm not sure the status of that paperwork. The obstruction packet came to me, but if there's anything missing from me, just let me know, or from Mr. Martinez. Run
Yeah.
downstairs.
I've got the motion to amend the information, all that information, but it doesn't have the defendant's waiver, which I like to see. So as far as Mr. Cummings, I'm still waiting for that waiver. So I don't know. I don't know if I can look and see if I can find where stuff is. Let's see. I'll try it. Oh, great. I just found it. So you're gonna get your exercise today, one way or the other. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting there.
You're doing the hard part.
So judge should have all of the.
Say that again?
You should have all of the paperwork for Connor Cummings.
I have it now.
For Fernando Flores, what's missing is the plea packet, which still needs to be signed by the defendant.
If I could go into a breakout room with him, I'll try and talk him through that.
He signed the obstruction, so judge has the obstruction. It's just that other plea packet that needs to be signed.
Yeah.
I'll work him
Hey.
through it.
Yeah, you'll get that at any second now, Mr. Brooks, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, so we can proceed on Mr. Connor Cummings. All right, so where is Mr. Cummings? Let's see.
Right here, blue shirt.
Okay, all right. Will you raise your right hand, sir, please? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may lower your hand. All right, this is cause number 671585, the state of Texas versus Connor Cummings. Counselors, please make your announcement.
Sanchez for the state.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Matthew Finch on behalf of Mr. Cummings. We're ready.
So are you Connor Cummings?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with the offense of obstruction of a highway. So this information was amended. Is that correct, Ms. Sanchez?
That's true, Judge. The state would move to alter and amend the information by adding account 2, obstruction, waiving and abandoning count 1, and proceeding on count 2.
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, it's approved. So the charge that you are, the offense you are charged with, Mr. Cummings, is obstruction of a highway. I like to change that. I'd like to amend that also to be obstruction of a roadway. Anybody have an objection to that?
No objections from the state, Your Honor.
No objections from the defense either, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Cummings, you've been charged with the offense of obstruction of a roadway as a Class B misdemeanor. The range of punishment for that, as you see on the screen, is up to 180 days in Bear County Jail and or a fine up to $2,000. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to go to the next page where it shows defendant's signature. Did you electronically sign that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that by signing that document, you are waiving your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, as well as many other rights listed in that document.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have an agreement with the state and I follow it, but later on tonight or tomorrow, you have a change of heart, you want to take back your plea, you would need my permission to do that, but I do not have to give that permission. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I assess a harsher punishment than what you have agreed to, then you can take back your plea, and nothing you've said or signed here today for this hearing can be used against you. And if you plead, you're not going to plead no contest. Okay, so Mr. Finch, have you had an opportunity to discuss the charge with Mr. Cummings?
I have, Your Honor.
In your opinion, does he have a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charge?
He does.
Has he been able to assist you in his defense?
He has, Your Honor.
I approve the waiver. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is a $500 fine with court costs. The state has agreed to probate $250 of that fine. 14 months deferred adjudication. The DWI education course. Ignition interlock for half the term. 50 hours, 50, of community service. Alive at 25.
Say that again.
Alive at 25.
Alive. Okay.
Alive at the at symbol, and 25 is the name of the course, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
And, the victim impact panel.
Okay.
Judge, the only thing that I see is that the agreement was for a 12 months of probation of deferred, and that's what the paperwork that I've executed shows.
That's correct, Judge. I did shave off 2 months. I apologize. 12 months deferred adjudication is the agreement.
Okay. So it should be 12 months, not 14.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
All right. And I'm looking at the plea bargain sheet. Okay. So, all right. The DWI education course, victim impact panel, TAP evaluation, and alive at 25. Okay. So then that is your agreement, Mr. Finch?
It is, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Cummings, to the offense of obstruction of a roadway as a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Is anybody forcing you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
I accept your plea. I am not making any findings of guilt. I'm assessing a $500 fine plus court costs. However, $250 of that fine is probated. You are to complete 12 months deferred adjudication. I place you on deferred adjudication for 12 months. That is correct. You are to complete the DWI education course, the Alive at 25 course, the victim impact. What's VIP? Is that the victim impact panel?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, the tab evaluation and DW education. So deferred adjudication can be a good result for you, Mr. Cummings, because if you do everything you're supposed to, everything you say you will not have a conviction. That's pretty important. But you need to know that if for some reason you do not follow all the terms and conditions of your probation and the state files a motion, I find sufficient reason to follow it, then I can give you that conviction, revoke your community supervision, assess up to 180 days in Bear County Jail, and you would have a very limited right of appeal. So the downside is really not very good, right? So
No.
I hope that you succeed and complete this in the best way possible and be able to go on with your life, okay?
Absolutely.
So, the other thing is you did fill out a personal data sheet. That's a very important document because it's important for probation to be able to get a hold of you and you to be able to communicate with them. So do you swear that everything you put on that personal data sheet is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything further from defense?
Your Honor, just one question. My client has been diligent and has saved some money up to anticipation of this plea. He was wondering if you would allow him to buy out the community service hours, if the court allows that.
Yeah, you know what? I do. He did get assessed 50 hours community service hours. I'll give him 25 hours credit on the community service hours if he is or becomes fully vaccinated for COVID. Okay. Other than that, you're saying he would like to buy out some of those?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
of them? How many?
All of them, if possible.
All of them? Okay.
Yes, Judge.
So you will be permitted to buy community service hours at $7.25 an hour. And I would like the proceeds to be given to the San Antonio Food Bank.
Absolutely.
All right.
And one other issue, Your Honor, the ignition airlock my client does not have in his vehicle. Would he be allowed 30 days to get that installed to make arrangements? He is prepared to do that as well.
Yeah, 30 days to install ignition interlock. Yeah.
And that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Well, is there anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Cummings, want to wish you the best of luck, sir. At this time, this hearing is adjourned. I'm going to ask you to meet with Mr. Corey Richardson, our CLO, in a breakout room. And if you will go there and wait for him, he's going to give you important information on what to expect and how to proceed, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. All right, this hearing is adjourned.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Right. At this time, I think the only one that we have not done is Mr. Flores. Is that right? Mr. Collins, I know you've been here waiting all afternoon. How can I help you?
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was actually on the morning docket. I got stuck in the 187th all morning. I'm just coming in.
Not a
I've got
problem.
Enrique Garza on your docket.
Enrique Garza? Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay.
And that was, let's see. 655, 145, and 146, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm assuming he was here today, but because I didn't check.
And
At
I can
any
try to
rate,
call, I can try to call him and see if he'll zoom in if you need him to, because whatever you want me
I
to do,
do
Your Honor.
like to do that. I think it's important for them to know that they need to be here. I really consider it part of their due process so they can see how things are going. So if you can do that, it won't take very long. I'd be glad to just.
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, we have an offer on the table. I just don't know if he's going to take it or not.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah. if
I'm
you
going to stay
wanna
on
do
till I'm
that-
going to call him right now.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So on Flores. Let me see if that's come in. Mr. Cox, good afternoon, sir. How are you doing? Hello, how are you doing? Good, thank you.
Good afternoon, Judge.
I'll be done 1 second. Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Cox. How are you?
Yes, ma'am. I was from this morning. I tried to get in one while, then I had to go back because I was in 187 too for a while. And I had a couple cases, and I got an Eddie Flores, a Michael Harris, and Anita Johnson.
Okay.
So
What is Miss Thompson's first name?
Anita Johnson.
Anita? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. 649391. But those two cases were supposed to have been dismissed by the state, and I don't know if they.
Yeah,
They have been dismissed.
I see Miss Johnson's case has been dismissed.
Okay, both. All right, that's good, Judge. So that's one
Okay.
down. So I
And
got
which-
Harris and Flores, Joe Eddie, and then Michael Harris. And I just need to.
Do you have the cause numbers on those?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, Judge. On Michael Harris is 617597.
617597. Okay, hold on. Yeah, on Mr. Harris's case, it's still alive. So what did you want to do on that?
What I'd like to do on that one, Judge, is maybe set it for a plea. I think we're gonna plea this thing. And if you can set it for a plea, that will be.
All right.
Just give me a plea date and I'm gonna try to get it done.
How about April 5?
That's fine, Judge.
Okay, good. Okay. And your third one?
And the third one was Joe Eddie Flores.
Do you have a cause number on that?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Judge. The cause number is 608620.
Okay, here it is. Okay.
Okay. And on what my records show, Judge, is that there was a application for a for diversion. And I don't know if that's what, it was application for pretrial diversion. So if you can get me that same date, Judge, on that April date, I'll have it straightened out one way or the other. It'll either
All
be
right.
a
So for
plea or
all three, it'll be April 5, okay?
right. But
Well,
okay.
it's only 2 because one got
Two.
dismissed. Right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. You take
Okay.
care.
Thank you.
Oh. So I'm going to check and see if I can find Flores's. Well, that was Mr. Brooks' case. Did Mr. Brooks leave?
Your Honor, they're in the breakout room,
Oh,
talking
okay.
about that paperwork.
That's what it is. Okay, great. Thanks. Okay. So there's nothing to do until they come back. All right. So, so time really flies when you're having fun. Can I help you? I'm sorry, I'm making you wait. You can approach.
I was gonna approach once you were done, just on a off docket.
Okay, that's all right.
And we had a violation report. The commissioner on the judge. Check my office. I actually never got the violation report.
Yeah, I'm afraid they don't always send them.
Okay, so I didn't know. So
Yeah.
I was actually in the process of trying to avert this until I found out there was an actual warrant.
Yeah, okay.
So, he works out in the oil and gas fields and does not have a commercial vehicle
Okay.
license. So
And honestly, I don't like to do these on no files. I know I can do it as a magistrate, but I don't like to do that
He
because,
has no problem doing, I was gonna ask you in a little bit, if you thought he has no problem doing this on our own device. Only vehicles, if you let. Like you said, if you let pretrial officers, violation report. As far as what they know and don't know. But, so when he's out at the field, they have the work equipment there, but he does not drive.
okay.
Give him some time to get the Smart Start mobile devices. I think they're on 2 weeks off 1 week before they go in.
All right. Tell you what, I'm going to just recall that warrant. If you'll just submit a bond modification asking me to give you what you're asking for, I'll go ahead
And I
and
was gonna
sign it.
do that, but since the warrant was already issued. I wanted to
Yeah, let me do that right now so we don't lose any more time. Today's still February. No, yeah, it's February. No, it's March 3rd. It's my granddaughter's birthday. So how can I forget that?
March 2nd.
Sorry?
March 2nd.
Yeah. Yeah, March 2nd, March
Second,
2nd.
yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm setting my clock here on my watch.
Okay, if you'll go ahead and give this to the clerks, they should be able to process that. Thank you very much. You too. Take care.
Your Honor, Michael Collins, may I give you an update?
Yes, sir.
I tried calling Mr. Garza on the number I had, and it is no longer a working number. I called River City Bail Bonds, who I have all my records as his bond company. They say he had not checked in with them for some time, and the only number they had is not a working number either.
That's not good. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to do a BF on
Guess
him.
The court can send him an invitation. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, we just need to get him back in so we can take care of things, so.
I thought we were gonna finish it today, but I guess not.
So the warrant's not gonna issue for 7 days. So if for some miracle he gets a hold of you, and then we can go ahead and pull that
Okay.
warrant off and not execute it, okay?
Very fair, Your Honor. I'll put notes in my file.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Collins. Thank you
Quite
for your
welcome.
patience.
Quite welcome, Your Honor. See you soon.
Take care.
Take care.
So I got to send an email before I forget. I'll be right back while we're waiting for that last bit of paperwork. Six two one 710, 621 710. State of Texas. Ricardo Patino. Okay, Mr. Brooks, I'm sorry, I was on another screen. Did we get that paperwork done?
Believe it should be done, Judge.
Okay, let me check and see if I can pull it up. Six, two, three, 6, 4, 5. So I have 623-645 for Mr. Flores's case. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So let me see, where could it be? Let's see. Ah, here we go, found it. It's completed, so download. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That's it, a motion to amend. Okay, go back. In progress, maybe. Do you think that came through Outlook, Alita? 623-645?
No, I believe the state sent it to you by Adobe.
It hasn't gotten here yet. I'm gonna look and see if I can find it here. 623.
And Mr. Flores, did you click away all the way to the end?
Say that again?
If Mr. Flores clicked away all the way to the end, once he clicks the last click, it goes to you, Judge.
Yeah.
Judge, that paperwork should be with you in about 10 seconds.
So I'm finding the motion to amend the information. That's not a problem. I cannot find the waiver. Here we go. Maybe this is it. Ha, maybe this is it. Yep. Okay, good. Right. Okay. This is it. Okay. Mr. Fernando Flores. Okay, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Will you please raise your right hand?
Good afternoon.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may lower your hand. This is cause number 623645, the state of Texas versus Fernando Flores. Counselors, please make your announcement.
Jeff King on behalf of the state.
Will Brooks, standing in for Mr. Luis Martinez on Mr. Fernando Flores, Judge.
All right. So are you Fernando Flores?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
Are you a U.S. citizen, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You've
US
been
citizen.
charged with the offense of obstruction of a highway. And we're going to get to that on the screen in a moment. Because there's been an amendment to the information, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. So this is obstruction of a highway.
Yes, Your Honor.
So basically, this is abandoning count 1 and proceeding on count 2.
Yes, Your Honor. We are going to amend the information and add count 2, obstruction of a highway roadway, and move to dismiss count 1, driving while intoxicated at 0.15 or higher.
All right. And is this an agreement that the state and the defense had discussed prior to this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you all are in agreement that this should happen?
Yes,
Your Honor.
Judge, and we have no objections.
All right, so I'm going to approve it. I do want to make one additional amendment. I would like to make this obstruction of a roadway. Does anyone have any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
Right. So, Mr. Flores, you've been charged with the offense of obstruction of a roadway as a Class B misdemeanor. The range of punishment for that is up to 180 days in Bexar County Jail and/or a fine up to $2,000. You understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
We are going to go to page 2 of this waiver, and there is a line that says defendant's signature. Do you see that? You see that, sir? Mr. Flores?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I
did you
do.
sign this document, sir?
Yes, I did.
Do you understand that by signing this document, you're waiving your right to a jury trial, your right to remain silent, as well as other rights listed on that document?
Yes, ma'am.
If you, if you have an agreement with the state and I follow it, but later on you change your mind, you would like to take back your plea, you would need my permission to do that, but I don't have to give you that permission. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
If I assess a harsher punishment than what you have agreed to, then you can take back your plea and nothing you've said or signed here today can be used against you. And if you plead, you're not pleading no contest. Okay. So, Mr. Brooks, have you had an opportunity to discuss a charge with Mr. Flores?
Yes, I have, Judge.
In your opinion, does he have a factual as well as a rational understanding of the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he been able to assist you in his defense?
He has, Judge.
I approve the waiver. Do we have an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. We have agreed to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 15 months, a $700 fine, court cost 60, that's 60 hours of community service, DWI education, the victim impact panel, an ATP evaluation, ignition interlock for 1/2 the term, and $60 restitution to Texas DPS.
Mr. Brooks, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Judge, I didn't work this one up, and I admonished Mr. Flores on deferred adjudication rather than straight probation. So I'm happy to talk to him on that for just a second, but I just want to make sure that that's his understanding of what was worked out for him.
You may proceed. Do you
So-
want to do that here?
That's fine, Judge.
Okay.
Fernando, when we talked a minute ago, I was telling you about deferred adjudication, but the bargain is actually for what's called straight probation for the obstruction. Was that your understanding?
Right, yes. Mhm.
That's sufficient for me, and I can talk to him after the hearing more too, Judge.
All right. So you are willing to go along with straight probation, Mr. Flores? You know what that means, right? There's
Can
nothing
you
wrong if you don't
explain it to me
understand.
one more time, please?
Yeah, I can go in a
Yes.
breakout room with him, Judge.
Yeah, let's do that. I think that's a good
Okay.
idea.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's
apologize, Judge.
just break for this for a second. Not a problem. Just, you'll get a breakout room any second, okay?
Thank you.
Oh. So I thought Mr. Brooks and Mr. Flores were going to talk, Aleda.
I put Mr. Will Brooks in the, breakout room, and so did Mr. Flores, but there he goes. Okay, good.
So my baby granddaughter turns 15 today. That's my last baby.
Oh, quinceañera.
Yeah.
And driving soon? Is she anxious to get her license?
I'm sure she is. She's a little precocious, like it seems like a lot of kids are these days.
Yes.
But she loves animals. Oh my God, they have cats, they have dogs, they have ducks.
Oh.
I can't even think what else they have. She loves animals.
That sounds like my fiance.
Really? Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
lot of work.
Yeah, I know.
You have to share, right?
Yeah, and I've had to sit down and talk with her, saying like we have enough right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, somebody had something to say about that.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Martha's iPhone. How are you? My God, it's been so long. Oh, wait, you're muted. Oh, and let me see, we're still live on YouTube. Let me get us off
Oh,
of
no.
that.
Yeah, please do that. Don't leave us on YouTube live.
Well, let me see.